Welcome to your new home. This is the Players U Podcast. Bringing players together in business, sports, media, and entertainment. Players U. For the players, by the players. By the players. Let's do the damn thing. Here's your hosts, Carthorne and Tyson.
Players U, what's going on?
What's up with you, man? How you doing today, Dale? Bye.
I'm good, man. Another exciting episode of Players U coming to you today. It's your host, DC. Got my co-host, Tyson. Let's get it, man. How your week been?
It's been beautiful, man. I can't complain. The sun has been out. I've been enjoying this Columbus weather.
Yeah.
Just happy to be here, man. Really get after it, man. And, you know, AAU season is ending, and we right here.
Yeah.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It been a summer full of travel and, you know, building out the content, having fun, you know, enjoying sunshine outside in the mountains. Got to step out the country once, you know, got to see some of my boys. It's been a good time, man. You know, now is, you mentioned Columbus, about a month away, man, from you know, the best time of the year in the Midwest. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. All my Buckeye fans, OH.
IO.
There we go, man. So let's get into it, man.
Let's get into it, man.
So you started off saying something really important. In its three letters. AAU.
Yes, sir.
AAU. You know, I know right now, or maybe a week or two ago, they just had the Peach Jam.
Just ended. Yep. Just ended.
You know, shout out to All Ohio. I don't know what happened. I wasn't tapped into who won or who didn't, but you know, All Ohio is always one of them teams that's on the scene. So I just want to shout them out. You know, just being Columbus bred and all of that. You know, Jerry Watson and all those guys over there. But yeah, man, let's talk about it. So AAU basketball. There's going to be kids that's going to be watching this. There's going to be parents that's going to be watching and listening to this. Why is AAU so important in grassroots basketball?
Well, let's get a couple of things straight first. I believe that when I speak to parents, some parents believe they're playing AAU basketball. But AAU means Amateur Athletic Union. And then there's travel basketball, where you travel and play basketball.
Okay.
Local basketball, you're just around the 270 area and you're playing at smaller events, just local high schools and events like that. But when you're playing real travel basketball, which they call it AAU, but now it's kind of like, let's go, shoe sponsored events, you should say now.
Yeah.
Like you have the Nike League. You have the Adidas Three Stripes League, and then you have the UA League. I don't know if I think they kind of calmed down on the UA circuit.
Association falling off, huh? Is that what we're saying?
I think it fell off, honestly.
Oh,
so now you just have your Nike and your Adidas, and then you have all these other events that, you know, that are good events for kids that maybe weren't able to play on that Nike or that Adidas circuit.
Yeah.
But let's talk about why it's important. I believe it's number one important because you get to play against other players that's not in your own city majority of the times. So you're playing against good competition every weekend, and you're playing against high level competition when you play in those Nike circuits, when you play on the Adidas circuit as well. And you get to be looked at from coaches. You know, that's when you're really playing real good travel basketball. You're playing against top level players and you're being seen. Okay. Now, I used to coach on a mom and pop level, but we had Ohio State caliber players. So we were able, with Caleb Wesson, so we were able to play and be seen by high level college coaches. Yeah. Everybody's not privy to that when you play for a mom and pop organization. Give a shout out to the Mustang Ballers, by the way. And Chahari.
Ballers. Yeah, y'all had a lot of good players. I mean, Rob Brandenburg, guy from VCU, I remember. Obviously, Caleb and Andre Wesson. couple other guys that all were able to go on and play at the next level, whether it's D1, D2, D3.
Right.
And some guys going have went pro now. So he said a few things that I want to unpack and not miss here. You mentioned local ball in 270, and one thing I want parents to understand that there's AAU local teams in every city across the United States. You know, like you said, those tournaments are more just like youth sports where they're just playing club basketball. You know, It's not high stakes. You might be paying a little bit of money. It's still fun. I think it's still a place in basketball and in grassroots for that, because I think at some point every kid needs to just go and have fun with the game, you know, and still enjoy it. And then also, like, you get your confidence at these levels. You know what I'm saying? Versus AAU, you're gonna be playing against some of the roughest and toughest and most athletic in the nation. But it's important because a lot of these guys across the country are going to be who you're going to see when you get to the next level. So, Ren, I want to dive deeper on the difference of like mom and pop, no disrespect to nobody, and shoe programs, because things have changed a little bit now. The shoe companies have really taken over the game. Right. So let's talk about the difference and why. And why it matters, like, okay, where should a guy go? Like, which guy should be playing for the mom and pop organizations and which guy should be playing for the shoe programs? And does it matter when it comes to recruiting?
Right. Well, if you're good, you're good. Okay. So I think coaches will find you. Now, the difference, if you're playing a mom and pop, you can still be a great player. But typically the players that play on the shoe circuit, those are your top level 3 to 4 star, 5-star guys. Let's just be honest. Okay, those guys are getting looked at by high profile teams in the NCAA. Your mom and pop guys are getting looked at, I would say, lower D1, D2s. So they're not, so those top level coaches aren't really looking at those younger guys. Now, you can have occasion, like I said, we had the Wesson, Big Caleb on our team, and Rob Brandenburg as well. So occasionally you'll have at least 1 or 2, 3 guys that can play, that are playing a part of a mom and pop guy, because they just feel like they won't get that actual burn or more playing time if they went to a shoe organization, which is understandable. But like I said before, if you can play, they'll find you. But when you play for that shoe company, I mean, the intensity, the stakes, you can't mess up. Like, if you have a bad game, they're getting you out of there and they're bringing another person in. So you have to understand, you got to be able to play at a high level, and you got to be able to play at every single game, because the stakes on the line. If all Ohio loses and can't make it to the Peach Jam, Nike's looking at them like, hey,
we're pulling some money.
We got to pull that money from you.
Yeah.
And if it's consistent, you're going to lose the whole contract. So they don't have time. Jerry doesn't have time to get a guy to get him warmed up. He's got to come in ready. If you're a shooter, shoot the ball and it better go in.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. A lot of parents don't understand, like, why is there so much pressure? I'm like, because they're getting paid to put these kids in the situation where they could be seen by college coaches, and Nike's giving them this money.
Yeah, you know, I really want to,
or whatever.
Absolutely. I want to take a step deeper on that too, that people don't really understand. A lot of these parents, I would say, even the kids, you know, we're going to talk about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, Puma, whoever it may be, they're not in this business because they care about youth sports. Let's get that understood. They do not care about the kid, essentially. Because if they did, it would be better ethics in place. Like, guys wouldn't be getting cut left and right. Guys wouldn't be getting funding pulled. The reason they're in this is because it's an opportunity for them to promote their brand. It's an opportunity for them to build their business. And it's an opportunity for them to connect with the next generation's great talent.
Right.
So when you see the EYBL, the Peach Jam, Adidas Nations camps, back in the day, they used to have the ABCD camp, which was sponsored by Reebok. You know, Under Armour had the association, and it was really big around when Steph Curry started to emerge.
Yep.
You know, these camps are for them to get a look at the next generation's talent. Because all these shoe companies are looking 5 years ahead, even the NBA. So what they want to do is, hey, look, if I got XYZ player playing for a Nike organization, he probably goes to a Nike school.
Yep.
Following that, if he's good enough, he gets a Nike contract and wearing Nike his whole life. He's met the executives. He met some of the sales reps. He's met some of these different people. And all of these shoe companies are tied in with agents, teams. Like when I was at Wright State, like Coach Brad Brownell had a Nike shoe contract, not Wright State. We got provided gear, but he was the star. So where you think he's going to go first and look for talent?
Nike
And that's,
EYBL.
yeah, and that's how it works. You know, and then for me, I was a guy that didn't get to play on a sponsor program, but I had opportunities. But I was loyal, you know what I'm saying? I was loyal to, like they say, I was loyal to the soil, you know what I'm saying? I was loyal to my guy Tyson, and we had a squad, Jahari, and we was talented, man. We competed with anybody, but it did affect us because I was the only one to go D1 on that team, and we had at least 3 other guys that could have.
Yeah,
but there's no funding. So when it's time to go to nationals, we all got to come up with $400, $500, $600 a piece.
Car washes,
car wash,
anything.
You know, yeah, whatever we can do just to get down to Florida. And if you got 2-3 guys that say we're not going, especially your bigs, you ain't going. So that's the kind of the advantage, man. And we had to work for years just to get respected. And by the time we got respected, for a lot of guys, it was too late.
Time to go. Yeah. Time to head off to college.
Yeah. So
yeah, and that's the thing, man. Just to piggyback off of that. I mean, the intensity and just the rule changes of the AAU compared to a regular tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're only playing 1 to 2 games a day when you go to a Nike circuit or Adidas circuit or, you know, UA association, because coaches want to see that talent for that segment. They don't want to go to 5 games, 3 games in a day. They want to go 1 to 2 games, watch them, and get out of there.
Wow.
You know, so it's wild, and it's totally different. Wild. You go to a different event, and then you're playing 3 games in one day. You know, so you know how we used to do it. We used to play 3 in one day.
Man, you get there on Friday, you already got 1 game Friday. You wake up, you're playing 3 or 4 on Saturday, and then Sunday, if you ain't the top team in your bracket, you there at 8 in the morning, 7, playing the first game, and you got to win 2 or 3 just to get to the championship. You leave the AAU tournament like, man, I didn't play 7, 8 games.
Crazy.
Back to back, 3 days. So it's tough. It's tough, but I do like what the EYBL, you know, the 3 Stripes League, what they're doing. They kind of set it up like the NBA in a sense. They got conferences, divisions. You know, they go they go to a city on a weekend, play 3-4 games against certain teams, and then you head out, and then from there, at the end of the year, we see who make the playoffs, which is the Peace Jam.
Yep.
And then from the Peace Jam, you see who the best. What I like about that setup is kind of like EuroLeague overseas. So in EuroLeague, it's kind of the same thing. They'll have your group. You'll have 4 teams in a group stage, and then you'll play a regular season.
Right.
And it changed a little bit. It used to be like, you know, top. It was like top 30 or 32 teams, and then it went down to top 16 around January, and then the top 16 to play each other, and then you make the playoffs. But they've kind of switched it where everybody plays each other all year, and then you have your playoff seeding, and then we see who's going to make it to the Final Four in the championship. It's a dope concept, and I think AAU kind of modeled that between them and the NBA. They modeled that setup. So
that's what's up.
Yeah. Let's transition to the next question, Tyson.
Okay. So let me ask you this, man, because I know you're big on taking care of your body. Should they rest their bodies coming off an AAU weekend? How do you feel about that? And what do you tell me your thoughts.
I think the best ability is availability, right?
Right.
And a lot of kids, especially parents, don't understand that. You know, when you're a kid, they take it for granted and say, look, I'm going to just run you into the ground. So we're going to go play 3-4 games AAU. We're going to fly and bus across the country on a weekend. We also going to come back Monday morning and go Monday to Thursday training, sometimes get shots up on Friday, then head out. Now, I do think the work ethic component is important to build that. But this is no longer just fun sports, youth sports no more. It's like they're getting treated like professionals now. Even without the NIL, it's still like this is a business, like we mentioned
Right.
before. So I think there definitely should be some structure around how you should train. So from my perspective, coming from a professional athlete perspective, I would say if I have my son or myself playing or daughter, whoever that may be, playing in an AAU tournament on a weekend for how long does AAU last? About 4 months?
Yeah, it go from March, really.
March to July.
Yeah.
They take June off.
Take June off, so
But
March
then
to
you
July.
but then you play
4 months. Yeah, 4
then
months.
you play in June with your high school team,
Yeah, you
across
playing
the
June with your
nation
high
for the
school
most
team.
part. So it's almost half the year, 4 or 5 months. I would say this. I think you got to incorporate some type of like rest and recovery in there, because what you start to see is guys will make it to college and then they'll start getting hurt. Guys will make it to the pros, they'll start getting hurt. So let's just say there's an AAU tournament in Houston, Texas for the EYBL, and you're playing Saturday and Sunday, or you play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 1 game Friday, 2 Saturday, 1 Sunday, and now you got to travel back in town. I would absolutely take Monday off and rest your body.
Okay.
But this is the thing. I'm speaking to every age level, but especially those that are serious about the sport.
Right.
I think Monday could be 2 things: a complete rest day, get your mind off the game, get your body off the court, do something fun, focus on school, or if it's summertime, just focus on being a kid, right? But I think the second component of that is, you gotta at least allocate 1 to 2 hours that day to some type of stretching, foam rolling, maybe even a massage, something like that. You definitely want to go and start to invest your body into these things, because one, you're learning how to be a professional. This is what the pros do. After you play a week of basketball as a pro and you get that day off, it's rest, but it's almost rest and recovery.
Right.
So you should do an ice bath as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Get up, do some hot cold contrast, get you an ice bath, get you a hot tub, go to Lifetime, get in the steam room, get in the sauna, get in the hot tub, stretch it out. You know what I'm saying? Stretch out a little bit, do some foam rolling. And that's your day. That's your Monday. Tuesday, and you start to ease your way back into it. This is where you can start, get with your strength conditioning coach. Work on biomechanics. You know what I'm saying? Start to introduce yourself back to some high intensity basketball work on the court. You know what I'm saying? So you get you 2 workouts on Tuesday, strength conditioning coach, get you some shots up, work on your skills. Wednesday, no weights. You know what I'm saying? Get back in, work on some skills, get some shots up, work on your flexibility, maybe do some yoga. You know what I'm saying? Work on your skills at a high level. And then I would say Thursday, you want to figure out with your strength conditioning team what's going to be best for you. Maybe you go in the weight room with your strength conditioning coach and you do some mobility work. You know what I'm saying? We work on mobility and stability stuff where your legs ain't going to feel it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but you activating your core, you activating those stabilizer muscles, you working on single leg stuff, you do a little upper body work that's not heavy, some light stuff and some bands.
Right.
You go and you get you some shots up. I think at the end of the week, since you're about to go play and travel, I think on Thursday, this is more of a look, we ain't even going to dribble. We're going to work on catch and shoot all over the floor, some running, catch and shoot, some light stuff. Get a lot of spot work in, maybe some situational. Hey, look, this is what we're going to face this weekend. Let's get some light, maybe some ball screen work, different stuff like that, and think the game through. Take care of your body, get you some ice or ice bath, stretch, and then get ready for the weekend. I would kind of take that approach. You definitely got to take Mondays and really focus straight on your body. Tuesday, do your hardest workout of the week. You know what I'm saying? Get you 2 of them in. Wednesday, get you some skill work. You know what I'm saying? Thursday, you want to turn around and probably get you some mobility, stability work, some core work. Still get you some shots up, but nothing that's going to be not doing a whole bunch of step backs on Thursday. Do all of that on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Right.
And then now you off. You off to your tournament, and you come back and kind of rinse and repeat for 4 or 5 months. If you do that, you will get better, and you're going to maintain your body and not tear it down so much, like we see. Because most kids is like, hey, look, I'm gonna play AAU. I'm not gonna stretch. I'm not gonna lift. I'm gonna just go and work out. I'm gonna hoop all week in open gym. I'm gonna work out. I might go lift with the football team or lift by myself.
Yep.
And there's no plan. And then next thing you know, season comes around for high school.
You're tired.
And you hurt. You going into the season hurt already.
But don't even realize it though. That's the thing. They don't realize what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's what I would say too, because I got I have a couple trainees coming back from tournaments. And I'm like, Monday, no, gotta relax. I said you gotta stretch.
Yeah.
Stretch, take it easy. If we come in Tuesday, it's just straight light shooting. We just form shooting, just get some shots up, nothing serious. Really not gonna get. I really kind of want these people to take a week off, honestly, because they've been going so hard, and they're already ready. So I'm like, just take a week off, but really just come in and just get some shots up, nothing serious. Communicate. Let's look at some film. Let's get prepared for the next season. Let's talk about our plan going forward of what we're going to do. In that end of this at the end of this season, getting ready for high school basketball. So yeah, I know I've mentioned it, but yeah, the players' focus and preparation for this season. Because I don't know if everybody has a plan, but you should have a plan going into school ball season, because you have your off-season workout. Now you're getting ready to have your in-season workout, and because school ball, you're right here. Yeah, it's right here.
School starts in about a month.
Yeah, school starts for some people. School starts about 3 weeks. Honestly,
wow.
Mid-August,
you right.
School starts up for some of the. I know some of our 270 suburban area schools. The city schools start, I think, about 4 weeks, about a month.
Summer's coming to an end.
What should players focus on, man, in preparation?
I think what you started off with is big. Like coming off the end of AAU, I would even say they should take off 2 weeks. Personally, I would take off about 2 weeks and go have fun. You know what I'm saying? This is your time. You got to think. Let's take a step back. So from the start of last season's basketball season, let's just go from the day the season started, which is typically for high school, October, November, somewhere in there.
1st of November.
First
week of November. That's when it starts.
So and then if you're any good of a player, you're hopefully working out in September or October.
Oh yeah, for sure.
To prepare. So let's just say from last October to kind of meet in the middle until February is your high school season.
Yep, end of February.
Then March.
If you're lucky, playoffs.
Yeah, if you're lucky, playoffs. And the AAU is typically in March. End of March until, let's just call it July. You also sprinkle in June basketball, player development. Guys are hopefully getting better during that time too.
Right.
And then after July, you have August, and you're back in school. So you got essentially August, September, October to prepare yourself for your season, which is not that much time if you don't take advantage. And most kids don't take advantage, which is why it's only 1% that make it. So coming off the end of your season, you've basically played for a year straight after AAU is over.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's true, though.
It's a year straight, and nobody thinks about this. So you're starting to see more non-contact injuries at the youth level than ever before. So I would definitely go and say, look, we're going to take off 2 weeks. We're going to take off at least 1 week where we're not even going to think about basketball.
Right.
I'm just going to have fun. I want you to go enjoy your last little week or two of summer, run around with your plans, play your video games, whatever that's going to be.
Yep.
The second week, let's start having conversations around, okay, what is player development about to look like? What are your goals for the season? What are we going to start working on? And mind you, this is in August. We're talking about all of this in August. Because what you're also going to have around this time, August, September, especially in October, you're going to start having these youth leagues You know, you're gonna have your high school leagues, you're gonna have the brick league, you're
Yep.
gonna have your camps. A lot of the showcases and camps that these companies will put on to be around this time too.
Yep.
Give yourself about 2 weeks off. Second week time off, you're gonna start really focusing on development. Get with your strength conditioning coach, whoever that's gonna be. Get with your basketball trainer. Set up meetings and just say, hey, look, this is the goals. What's our plan? Are we gonna go 3 days a week, 4 days a week, 5 days a week? What's it gonna look like? What time we're gonna work out before school, after school? This is when you want to do that so that when you go into your training at the end of August, once school starts, you're off and you're taking off. And now you start to develop. And I would say, you know, at this point in time, this still is considered the off season because preseason is not going to start till October. So you get August and September for off season. I would definitely work on right at this point, get on that body. Start developing on that body, go hard in the weight room, work on that flexibility, and then also go hard on that court. But you want to start like working on all the stuff you know you didn't have last season. You want to work on that left hand. You want to work on that mid-range jump shot you don't have. You want to work on that 3-ball. You want to work on your conditioning. You know what I'm saying? You want to start getting on that track while it's still warm out. You know what I'm saying? You want to get in that pool. There's different things you could do at the high school level. Like you don't need all the best facilities, but get your strength and conditioning coach in the weight room or with your mom or dad or somebody that know what they're doing. I would say get with your trainer on the court. Find some time to get your extra shots up by yourself, which is just probably an hour a day outside of your trainer. And then, you know, start to maybe incorporate some open gym, you know, once or twice a week. And I think with the school schedule, that's all you got time for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If a kid does that, strength and conditioning coach, work on their game with their trainer, and find some time to get 1 extra hour of shooting in 4 or 5 days a week, and then maybe go hoop once or twice, there's no way you're not at least 2 times better than when you were at the start of AAU season a few months ago.
Nah, that's true.
Yeah. And that's how you start to see guys that go from under-recruited to, dang, this dude just popped up, like took off on the scene because after that AAU season, he saw where he was nationally and then said, you know what, this is what I got to work on, put a team around himself and grind it for 2-3 months before the season started while everybody else is just going to school, having fun, hanging out with girls, going home, going to sleep, playing the game.
Right.
And you missed out on 8 to 12 weeks of like work that another guy took serious.
Yeah, we all know about that too.
Oh man, yeah, it's a lot of you guys.
Another conversation, but yeah.
And you know what? It's important, and this is why it's important. There's money around that at no other time in the history of youth sports, like this money wasn't available. Like you've always had scholarships, but now you got NIL deals coming in. You know what I'm saying? You got more, like at no point in history of grassroots basketball, and I would even say college, was the playing field this even. Like you got guys going from NAIA schools to D1s in 1-2 years. So you have to take it that serious now. Because end of the day, let's say you're not going to go pro, there's $250,000 in scholarship money available to you.
Gotta go get it.
It's a grind. Yeah,
it's definitely a grind out here, man. And now that makes sense. I like what you said. That 2 weeks is huge, I think, because the rest of the body you get to prepare with your strength and conditioning coach and your on the court coach, your basketball trainer, and mentally. I think mentally as well, it helps the body.
Yeah.
Be prepared and get ready for the season and just get ready for school. Like you said, a lot of kids aren't kids anymore because they're always in the gym doing something, but they're not. But that's why we always have a lot of mental health issues because kids are so pressured they got to be great. They got to be great all the time, but they never get that time just to relax for themselves. And there's a lot of pressure coming from parents. Let's be honest. A lot of pressure comes from parents. I see it when kids be training. Parents is yelling at them, you know, you got to do it this way, you got to do it that, do it harder, do this, do that. It's like, man.
Yeah, man. I see it all the time, and I think there's no one answer that can like change that. But what I
Yeah,
think can help that, which helped me, was I took the shit serious myself. So that takes the pressure off of my mom or dad having to say anything.
right.
If they know, okay, look, a school day is long. I mean, a sophomore, a high school kid that takes sports serious, they got a lot of responsibility, and nobody really says it. And it's a tough time because you're still growing and figuring out who you are mentally at this time. But if you're smart and you get up in the morning and you work out before school, get one workout in, whether you lifting or shooting, whatever, I would say you paid to play to put the ball in the hole. So get that on court work first. And
Yeah,
then, but whatever, right? Go to school, get with your trainer after school or lift, whatever. And then focus on them books. If you get them books right, it makes everything else easier. So you want to, you got to be smart. You got to be intelligent. You got to take care of your business. And a lot of school isn't even being the smartest in the room. It's just being the most disciplined.
yeah.
Who's organized. So I had a schedule in high school that actually prepared me for college. I had a 6 to 6 rule. 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. was all business.
Mm,
Period. And it really was for me 5 to 6. But I'm gonna call it 6 to 6 because I think that's doable. If you can be in the gym at 6 a.m., get you a nice hour workout in. Because the thing about an hour is it's short enough to where you can manage it,
right.
long enough that if you take it serious, you can get some great work. You start getting around 2 hours at that level, you're not focused for 2 whole hours.
Right.
Hour and 15, 6 to 6. You get that hour in, get to school by whenever y'all start, 7:30, 8 o'clock. Go to class, you out at 2:30. You got between 3 and 6 to get you a quick bite to eat,
Yep.
get you 1 to 2 hours of work in. Now at 6 p.m., you're done. You got homework you can do. You can hang out with your friends. You can talk to your girl or your boyfriend, whatever it's going to be. And there should never be an issue of your work. 6 to 6, man. Keep it very simple. 6 a.m., 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. You get your work done on the court, in the classroom. And then now you got all evening to get your homework done, eat, spend time with your family, see your people. And that's it.
I like that. I like that 6 to 6 rule. I mean, that makes sense.
Six
I
to
mean,
six.
and even that hour workout, that's all you need. I was watching Quintino Mobley. Remember him?
Cat.
Left hand
Monster. Yeah.
assassin. So he was just saying, like, man, I'm in the gym an hour. I said, I'm not in no gym 2 to 3 hours. There's no need because you just don't have the mental capacity to work on so much stuff in 2 to 3 hours. Just get in there for an hour, work on
Yeah.
what you need to work on, but you gotta go. You gotta be intense, and it's got to
Yeah.
be aggressive, and it's got to be well thought out plan. And then
All
get
out.
out of there.
Yeah.
That's all
All
you
out.
need.
As you get older, you're going to start to do 2-3 hour workouts. But that's when you know what you need to work on.
Right.
But as a kid, 1 hour hard, no BS, straight to it. Get your stretch, get out, go to school. After school, get you another hour, no BS, straight to it. You done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, I think that's some great work that people can tap into.
Yeah. So as we move on, man. Okay, we got the college recruiting process, and I have a lot of parents who don't understand the process, and I have some young people who are some trainees who are getting ready to go through the process of coaches are calling, they've gotten offers, now they're getting ready to set up some official visits. Can you elaborate, because you've been through it,
Mm-hmm.
what is this recruiting process like? What are some things that parents should be asking for as questions? What should players be looking at as they head into these official visits? You just give us some info on that, please, man.
Yeah, man, I think this is a great question and very important around this time of year because we kind of touched on, what guys should be doing in AAU moving forward. Now we're going to talk to the seniors and those grad seniors that are getting recruited. Even guys that are transferring. I would say you got to understand like what your level is, what your goals are, and who you are as a person. I think it's the most important at this time to understand who you are a little bit. And the reason I say that is because where you go to college, it's going to be one of the biggest decisions of your life. You know, looking back on that time, I would say my college decision to this day has like big implications on where I'm at in life. You know, and I graduated college 2014. It's 2022. So we talking 8 years later. And my the decision for me on where I went to school is still paying dividends now, or made me miss out on some opportunities, if we're gonna speak honestly.
Right.
So going into school, I think it's definitely important for you to develop a relationship, like in during a recruiting process, with not only the assistants, but I think it's very important to develop a relationship with the head coach. Because for me, I developed a great relationship with my assistants for sure out of Wright State and other schools. But as I got older, it was more important for me to develop a relationship with my head coach. And the reason I say that is because like a lot of times nowadays, the assistants are so heavy on the recruiting process that like you don't even talk to the head coach much. And he doesn't really know you. And then you get to school, he's been like evaluating you from a spreadsheet. Like, you know, y'all have a couple conversations. They may come check your game out here and there, but like make sure that you communicate with that head coach. That's going to tell you a lot. If he's willing to commit some time to call you back same day or reach out on his own, pull up to your games. I don't care if you got to hop on a plane or whatever. Come to your games once or twice that season. Assistants should be tapping in with you daily. You know what I'm saying? But really create a relationship with the head coach and ask them the right questions. Where do you see me? You know, what should I be doing right now in preparation? You know, what are your how do you expect, how are you planning to build this roster out? You know what I'm saying? Like, what can you see me doing at the next level to be successful, or who can I watch at the next level so I can make sure I come in ready? You know, can you connect me with one of the guys on the team? Who's the best leader on the squad that I can connect with? You know, it's these types of things. You also want to make sure that you like take the academic side serious too. You know, you want to look at, okay, what major am I going to have? What major am I interested in? Where does this school rank as far as this degree goes? You know what I'm saying? What do y'all have set up as far as like internships and pushing people to the next level in the corporate world as well? You know, I just think that that's important because we're so focused on basketball at this age that by time 4 years go by, which is it go by fast, 18 to 22, probably at this point, you 17 to 22, your life going to change dramatically based on what you did on that court. And a lot of that's going to depend on the relationship with your head coach because he's going to be, or assistant, he's going to be the guy that's going to make calls for you, whether it's to get an NBA workout. Overseas teams are going to ask to talk to him. And corporations, if you want to go get a job, are going to want to like get a recommendation. And there's nobody better than the head coach of that organization because he's the CEO. So I would look into all those things, man. And I don't think playing time early is as important.
Right.
But it does depend on your personality, which is why I said you got to start to know yourself. Because if you know you're not mentally ready to sit on a bench, don't go to that school. Don't go to that school. Yeah, just because it say Duke, it don't matter. Once you go there and you put that jersey on every day and they got you running 100 miles, you ain't gonna care that it say Duke. You're gonna care about how you feel.
That's key right there. You ain't gonna care what that name on that jersey says. If you're sitting on that bench and you gotta, like you said, to run 100 miles. Sheesh.
Listen, you by time you start your season in college basketball, you're gonna put in more work than you've ever put in your high school career. I'm gonna say it again. By the time you start your freshman season at a D1 school, you're already going to have in those preseason months, whether it's summer school and preseason, for let's just say you go to summer school in July, preseason starts in September, season starts in October, November. By July to November, you're going to have put in more work in those few months than you did for 4 years in high school. So, yeah, you're going to want to play. So pick somewhere where you ain't got to start, but somewhere where you can be a key contributor to a good team. Now, if you were like me, I didn't have as many options as some guys, but I still went Division I. I had a team that had a lot of seniors, juniors and seniors. So I had to earn my keep, and it was tough as hell every day. Even when I could play, and I was one of the best freshmen in our conference, in my opinion, them juniors and seniors wasn't going to let me know that, because they want to keep their spot. They trying to go pro.
Right.
So you got to know who you are. I was tough enough to deal with it. Not every kid is tough enough to deal with it. So I would ask that, and then I would also ask the coach, what's his plans? How long do you see yourself at this school? And you just want to see if he's going to give you an honest answer. Because that's going to be the beginning of the relationship. And I say that because when I got recruited, shout out to Coach Brad Brownell at Clemson. Shout out to Billy Donlin, who's the head coach at University of Missouri, Kansas City. I had this exact situation. I'm going to give you all just some insight. So I was at the Ohio versus Kentucky All-Star game. This is 2009. CJ McCollum was on my team that year. He won the MVP. At the time, he's going to Lehigh. CJ's probably 5'11". This is no lie.
Remember that.
Yeah, he ended up growing about 6'4". He won MVP. Shoot the hell out the ball. But I was in a hotel room with one of my guys, and we were watching ESPN. And this is right after high school season, so let's just call it March for the All-Star game.
Might have been April for y'all, because I remember that.
Might have been April. Yeah, it's somewhere around there, right?
Yeah.
March, April. I'm watching ESPN, and an alert comes on, and it's about Indiana, the Hoosiers. And the job is between Coach Brad Brownell and Tom Crean. This is when Tom Crean, I think, was at Iowa, getting ready to leave Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
So they say, coaching job is up to these two candidates. We don't know which one, but they're both young and can move. And I think at the time, Brad Brownell was one of the youngest college coaches in the nation. So I pick up the phone and I call Billy Donlin, who's now the head coach of UMKC, ended up being the head coach of Wright State, is assistant at Michigan, Northwestern, all of that. I called Brad Brownell. Remember what I said about creating a relationship with your head coach? He ain't answer the phone. And he didn't call back. So I'm like, okay, let me call Coach Donlin. Hey, Coach, how's it going? Hey, man, I'm watching ESPN. I'm hearing that Coach B might be taking the head coaching job at Indiana. What can you tell me about that? Because I'm supposed to be coming there, and I still got schools that are interested. I just want to know, because if he leaves, that puts me in a situation where I don't know who I'm going to play for.
Right.
He's like, hey, man, don't worry about that. Look, in this business, you're going to hear this stuff all the time. He ain't going nowhere. He going to be here. We trying to do some special things. Okay, cool. All right, appreciate it, bro. Hey, can you have Coach B give me a call? Phone call ain't come. So fast forward, I go to school. Tom Crean gets the Indiana job. We have a successful season. We lose to Butler in the conference championship game when they went to the national championship the first year.
Ooh, that was tough.
Yeah, we had a great season, man. We got tested, played University of Washington, lost to them by 5, lost a close one to Cincinnati. We played a bunch of big teams, and we beat some big teams. Locked some guys down that might have been top scorers in the nation. It was good season. Lose to Butler, Gordon Hayward, Matt Howard, all those guys. Brad Stevens. So
it's tough.
I bring all that to say this. Immediately after the season is over, Coach B calls a meeting. This is, I don't know, season just ended. He calls a meeting. We all in the film room. As soon as we walk in, he goes, hey, fellas, I just want to let y'all know I love y'all. but I decided to take a job. And we all like, take a job? What? Yeah, I decided to become the new head coach of Clemson basketball. I want y'all to know. This is spring 2010. I want y'all to know first before it gets out. I appreciate all y'all have done. Thank you for y'all's hard work. This is a deal I couldn't turn down for me and my family. I'm getting about a $1.2, $1.3 million raise.
Oof.
I'm out. Well, we dap him up. He walks out the room. We all sitting there dumbfounded. I'll tell the story after this next, but we all sitting there dumbfounded. We all walk out the room. Next thing you know, we see all these people in the practice facility moving shit in and out the office. We like, what the what's going on? We all are confused. We walk into the players' lounge and we take a seat. We turn on the TV. This is no BS. This is about an hour after that conversation. This dude is on national TV already, down in South Carolina, holding up a Clemson jersey, talking about "Go Tigers."
He was there.
They chartered the flight.
Dang.
While we all in the room, locker room, confused, and then we go in and turn the TV on, and bro, all of our lives changed overnight. Every single person.
Wow.
And for people that don't know, a full NCAA scholarship is a 1-year agreement. So, but yeah, man, that was a real story. So this is 1 year after I had the conversation with Coach Donlin at the Ohio-Kentucky All-Star game. And a year later, Coach B is taking a job at Clemson. Now, I got to figure out, damn, who's going to be the coach? What's going to happen? Who about to transfer? Who's getting recruited? Like,
yeah,
am I going to have a scholarship? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the reality. And that was the, hey, welcome to the big leagues moment for me. That was when I knew this shit is a business. Nothing less, nothing more. It's a business.
Straight
and that was it.
Out here.
That was it, bro. So I say, it's okay to ask these questions, man. It's okay to ask these questions to build a relationship, because if you built that relationship, you might be able to transfer with him. Now you done went from Wright State to Clemson.
Yeah, that's true.
It can happen. I had an opportunity to do that. You know what I'm saying? It can happen. So, but yeah, man, I had to give y'all that story. I got a million of these, but I had to give y'all that story, and I hope I painted the picture for y'all to actually see. Because I'm in the film room like, damn, man, I got to call my mom. I got to, he just left. I done ran through a brick wall on this dude. Like, I ain't getting none of that 1.2 million.
And you sitting there thinking like, damn, what am I doing next? What's going on? Like you said, who's coming in? What's going on? And your head was just spinning like, oh.
It was spinning, man, because we thought he made a lot of money. He was making $365,000 a year, which we used to always joke in the locker room, like, man, this dude make $1,000 a day. Yeah. We was like, damn, man, that's some good money, And then he come in, he took the 1.2 million, and we like, and to say to put it in perspective, that was 2010. To this day, Brad Brownell is still at Clemson. He's the longest tenured coach in Clemson history now.
Wow. That's a great coach, man, too.
Yeah, man, he's a great coach, man. One thing I will say, shout out to Coach B, man. Like, I learned more basketball under him in that 1 year than I did on any other season in my life. He also supported the program at Wright State. Wright State's a great program, man. What he did at a mid-major hadn't really been done. And nobody really knows this, but we had charter flights my freshman year, which basically a private jet. We had a private jet. It's all our games. We had training table, which training table is like we had basically a chef Monday through Friday from 5 to 7 every day. They would make gourmet meals. You know what I'm saying? We had our strength conditioning coach who took us serious. We had, different sponsorships, Muscle Milk, Cytomax, Nike deals. We played probably 9-10 nationally televised games at a mid-major my freshman year, that's not non-conference, and in conference games nationally televised all the time, but like 9 to 10 non-conference games on ESPN, like
that's unheard of.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it was real. I remember we we went to Mississippi State We played Mississippi State right after we played Washington. Tough. We played like UW, Cincinnati, Mississippi State, all back to back. Belmont when they had Ian Clark, like it was tough. We flew to Mississippi, charter jet. We would drive to the airport, drive right up to the plane, hop on the plane, fly to Starkville, land in Starkville. Bro, our Wright State team bus was in Starkville, Mississippi, waiting on us.
Waiting on you. Wow.
Yeah. So they drove the bus while we flew. Like, this is when I knew. I was like, I started to think at this moment, this beginning of the year, I'm like, Coach B not going to be here long.
With all this going on.
I remember having that thought, and the reason they had to do that was because he had leverage. So because Indiana wanted him and other programs wanted him, he could go to our athletic director. Shout out Bob Grant, BG, one of the best in the nation. I don't care what nobody say to this day. Love BG, man. And then Chris Grant, who was our assistant AD, used to be the commissioner of the Pac-12. He's now became commissioner of the Southland Conference. Shout out to CG, one of the black commissioners in the NCAA. It's my guy. He used to hang out with us. CG was cool. But he could go to them and say, hey, if y'all want me to come back, we need a private jet. We need training table. I need bonuses. We need a better shoe deal. We need all this. And we had all that at Wright State. You know what I'm saying? And the practice facility is second to none. I mean, the Nutter Center was great. But yeah, that's big time business right there, man. I just remember having that moment when we pulled up, landed, charter jet, and the bus was there. I'm like, okay, this dude ain't gonna be here long. But
I can't beat that.
That was the last time I thought about that. And next thing you know, we play a whole season and he comes back. We still trying to recover from the loss to Butler. We really thought we was better than Butler. We lose to Butler in the championship, got smacked on ESPN. We all hurt. This dude gets $1 million raise. We like, damn, this is tough. So
it's great business out here.
Shout out to Coach B, man. You know, I had to Leo at that story, man. It's Players U podcast, baby.
Players U.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, that's a great show, man. And, you know, God bless. We see you next week.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Out.
You've been listening to the Players U podcast. For the players, by the players. Carthorne is an ex-overseas pro basketball player and manager. And Tyson is a trainer, coach, and sports management league developer. So you might say they're qualified to talk about it. We hope you enjoyed the show. We know we had a blast. Make sure to like, rate, and review the show. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hit us up on Instagram and Twitter at Players U Media. That's Players, the letter U, Media. Y'all be cool. See you next time.